welcome back to Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your co-host, Lexi Booth.
And I am your host, Stephen Booth. How is everybody in Ghost? It's a full moon where we are. It's midnight. It's midnight here in Texas. We've been we got some stuff to do, so we just said screw it. We're going to lay some podcasts down tonight, tell some scary stories while it's dark.
Yeah. This is our 11th episode.
Oh, I'm excited.
And,
it's
oh my
fun.
gosh, we are so proud of everybody, and
oh gosh,
not to be I don't know what the word is, prideful, but we're
it's
proud of
amazing.
ourselves.
Yes.
Because we've come so far, and I mean, a lot of it is from you guys, because without you guys, we wouldn't be anywhere.
Oh gosh, we didn't
have
think it would
so
take off like it
many
has.
Not viewers, but listeners and everything from everywhere.
From everywhere. Just in the States, we got Washington, California, Ohio, North Carolina, North Dakota, Georgia, Michigan, Tennessee, Illinois, and District of Columbia, man.
Yeah,
got our backs.
Yeah,
Love it. And then,
we have
over in Europe, we got Germany,
the Netherlands, Ireland. We have how do you say it?
Bangladesh.
I almost said Bangkok, so I'm so glad you stepped in. As always, you guys know I can't talk right, so.
But
and
yes,
then we also have places in the UK and Australia.
Yeah.
So,
it's just been everywhere. God, it's crazy. We've already got 100 downloads, and thank you so much, guys, for all the downloads and support.
Thank you so
it's
much.
Awesome.
We appreciate it so much.
But yeah, man, see, our big holiday coming up is the 4th of July, and on our my other podcast with my niece, Borderline Texas Trash, we're telling everybody, we want to tell y'all send us emails from other countries and stuff and tell us how y'all celebrate y'all's independence. What's y'all's special date? What do y'all do?
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Because ours is the 4th of July, and if you got any, scary stories around that time or, just email us that.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you guys. Seriously, man. Email us and stuff, because that would be sweet.
You don't even have to email. Just get on our Instagram and follow us.
Instagram.
Or Twitter.
Oh, yeah, we got our Twitter, and it's...
South Texas Ghost. TX, not the whole Texas name.
And then...
It's the same for Instagram and Twitter. And then the email is South Texas Ghost.
And we are on...
No, I'm so sorry. Like I said, it's midnight.
She needs some coffee.
The email is Ghost Stories Told from the South. Instagram and Twitter is South Texas Ghost. My mind is not with me today. What were you saying?
We are on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher. Oh, I want to give some shouts out to Stitcher, man. We only got a couple of listeners, but man, it's pretty cool. We even got listeners on Stitcher and on Google Play. I've been noticing we've had listeners.
Google Play?
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that we're on there. But yeah, it's just been amazing, guys. I mean, there's been other platforms wanting us to come over and join them so we can get on a bigger band and really get out there. But we really love doing that stuff. It's freaking awesome.
Oh, it's fun.
And I just came out with another podcast. Sorry to cut you off.
You're
I
good.
got to do some promoting there.
You're good.
But I want to give a shout out to myself. I just got a brand new show on called College Football Dive. If you're really into college football or anything, check it out. It's a College Football Dive with Uncle Boo. So check that out. And don't forget to check out Borderline Texas Trash, me and my niece.
And then me and my sister kind of working on one. We're trying to get it going. It's not... With this one, it's one specific thing. Me and my sister are doing a handful of things, so it's kind of difficult to figure out a name and everything.
Well, it's going to be... It's going to be based on not 100% conspiracy and not 100% unsolved mysteries and stuff. It's going to be a mixture of both.
Yeah, well, it's unsolved murders.
Unsolved murders,
unexplained things,
unexplained
Mandela
stuff.
effects, things the government are hiding. Hopefully we don't, get killed because we're unraveling information. Just because we're all both interested in that stuff. Stephanie watches a YouTuber that does all that stuff, and I've always been interested in it, and me and Dad always talk about it.
And if y'all like that stuff that we talk about, the paranormal stuff, the urban legends and stuff, we're gonna do we're gonna come up for our hour special this month is gonna be on Helltown.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's gonna be on our special because we watched a documentary about it, and that's pretty interesting, man. It's some crazy shit went on there. So,
yeah, if you guys know anything
man.
about it, or just, yeah.
You know what I forgot to do? We can keep talking. I forgot to hit record. I got this new video camera, guys. So when I get on a Podbean or a Patreon, when I get our show on Patreon, and I can download all this. I know I couldn't say it there. Whoa, what a boy! But yeah, I'm gonna try to get. I'm trying to get as much stuff together and gathered up. And but I'm gonna try to put that stuff and get us on Patreon too, guys. So I'm gonna get that upcoming. So we got a lot of stuff in store for you guys to show the love back. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna do that Helltown one. She's got a podcast coming up. Check her out when hers comes up, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be her and her sister. So it's gonna be my little girl and my big girl.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry I just started this video right now, guys.
No.
We should have done it when I started the deal, but how do you like our background? We're moving on up. Look at that. Hell to the yeah. We're not going to...
like we took over my brother's room anymore.
Nah, and we're not going to tell you what our secret is either.
Nope.
Because we're awesome like that. But, so today, ladies and gentlemen...
Don't tell my stories. Keep them secret.
Oh, I'm not. Here's mine. I'll let you have mine. She don't want you to know hers.
But her secret.
My stuff is from California this week, and I think my next couple stories will probably be California. I just got on there one night and just started clicking on stuff, and California's got some interesting stuff. But I might try to hit the East Coast for a while. Stay out there on the East Coast, Georgia, Oregon. I'm not the East Coast. I'm in the West Coast, and do like Oregon and Washington, California, Utah, Nevada, Colorado. But all that groovy stuff. But today, my story is the Santa Lucia Mountains, the Dark Watchers. I hope I didn't butcher that name, guys. Santa Lucia. So I hope I didn't butcher it. And my second story is the Char Man, and my third story is the Turnbull Canyon. And it's a big one, so I'm going to do some of it tonight, and then the next episode some, because I think this is going to end up being a 2 to 3 episode, because it's pretty big.
I'll make it like a 3-parter.
Yeah, because it's like a big canyon. It's got tons of... I mean, the history starts with the Indians, of course. But history. So...
Okay, well, do you want me to kick it off? Because your first story is pretty long, so you want me to kick it off with a kind of a short one?
Yeah, do that.
Okay. Well, this kind of goes off of my tradition that we've been keeping on here. Like, I do places, and he does kind of the urban legends thingy.
Because she likes the asylums, the hospitals.
Well, this one is kind of a place. Not a place.
It's a place.
It's kind of a place, but it's also kind of like an urban legend thing, because no one knows for sure. So... But I found it interesting, and I couldn't pass it up, so just
bear with me there, Chikatoke. There we go.
Okay.
Smile.
Sorry, we're messing around with the camera. So, this is the Bell Witch Cave. Have you heard of that one? It is in Adams, Tennessee. So... There was this guy named John Bell, and he was a farmer from North Carolina, and him and his wife and 3 children settled in northern Robertson County, Tennessee, in the early 1800s. It was in 1804. They lived there for 13 years, just building stuff and just having time of their lives and whatever. Well, the summer of 1817, they kept on seeing, like, strange animals on the property and stuff. So, at, like, late at night and stuff like that, they would hear knocking sounds on the doors and the outer walls of the property in the house and stuff like that. So, like, they would go investigate, and nothing would be there.
That's crazy. And
especially seeing, like, animals.
Yeah.
So, like, that was really weird. Oh, and also, sorry, that was really loud.
Sorry, that's my fault. My bad.
With this one, normally I do the history, then the ghost stuff. With this one, I kind of have to mix it in, so I'm sorry, kind of going back and forth. But, so, they would hear growling and stuff, and then they would, for the husband and the wife, there would be red eyes and like a animal figure with growling at them at the bedpost.
Yeah, and they would see this when they was in bed?
Mm-hmm. And just stand there and be like, just lay there and be like,
I think I'd be like,
just be like, that's normal.
Honey,
pack your bags, we're leaving.
Yeah.
They heard chains being dragged throughout the house.
Wow.
And then, like, stones would be dropped on the wooden floors. Like, from outside would be brought in and dropped on the floors.
That's crazy.
And then they also heard, like, gulping and choking noises, like a killer was in the house and trying to kill everybody, but, like, no one else was in the house. It was, it was really weird.
Oh, my God. You'd wake up hearing, and nothing's happening. You're like, huh?
Pretty much. Okay, so they were obviously terrified in their own home, but, like, they didn't tell anybody. I guess 'cause they didn't want to sound crazy and be like...
Yeah. These guys are fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, so they didn't tell anybody, and then they finally told a few people in that group, I guess, had, like, a paranormal investigation happen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And people, I guess, from all over the world heard about it and was like, whoa, what's this place? Came to investigate it, and they were like, what's really going on here? So, and they ended up hearing a voice and stuff. I don't know how new this is or anything, but they ended up hearing a voice. It was the witch of a neighbor named Katie Batts.
Katie Batts.
Yeah.
Does that mean she's like batshit crazy?
Probably. So they started calling it that property and stuff the Bell Witch Cave or whatever. So, it was believed that the witch wanted to kill John, or stop someone from.
Oh God! Sorry about that.
So the theories were that either she wanted to kill John, the husband, or she wanted to terrify one of the daughters enough to stop her from marrying her future husband.
Damn.
Which, if that's true, why terrorize the entire family?
Yeah.
But
maybe she hated the whole family really and just didn't want to say it. She's like, I really don't like these guys. I just put up with them because I have to.
Yeah. Well, and for that girl that she was, I guess, trying to spook, her hair got pulled. She was pinched. She was scratched. She had the feeling like she was stuck with pins and needles.
Well, it's kind of like on that movie, The Sixth Sense, where that kid could see ghosts, and them kids, as a joke, lock him in that closet or something, and the ghost of that house is poking at him and stuff, and he's like crying and screaming.
Yeah. Oh, and she was also beaten by the ghost. So like all this stuff is happening to her, and she's just like, "What do I do?"
That's like that. What's that one show where that ghost picks that chick up by the hair and goes, psh, 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 psh.
I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Because she's screaming, ah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was funny. That really wasn't scary.
Okay, so after all that stuff happened to his daughter, then John, the husband, started suffering from spells of a swelling throat and feeling of being sick and stuff, and having like a stick stuck sideways in his throat. So then he got twitching and like jerking of facial muscles.
Facial muscles.
Whatever.
Face muscles.
Face muscles. So, like, he would just twitch like something was wrong. And then, December of 1820, sorry, my mom went blank and I was looking at the notes. I don't know what happened. He died.
She had a brain fart.
And people believe that the ghost poisoned him. So, and then the engagement was broke off by that girl, by one of the daughters.
Yeah.
So the engagement was broke off. So like, both theories came true.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, okay, so all the hauntings and stuff started in 1817. He died in 1820, and they stopped. 3 years of torment.
Wow, that's crazy too. It dies and the person dies and it stops.
Yeah.
That's even crazier and kooky.
And then so apparently the witch returns every 7 years to like finish what she started.
Damn.
And then one time I also read that it was like She returned 7 years.
Hey, wait a minute.
And then 107 years.
I think this is off that story, though. This is, what was that scary story? It was kind of like that. Oh, God. American Horror Story, I think, something like that.
Which one are you talking about, though?
There's a scary movie, I think, that kind of goes by that. That rings a bell, the Blair Witch. Now, the more you start talking about
Bell Witch,
it. Or Bell Witch. But the Bell Witch, yes.
Well, and so they were saying that it was a property, but I've looked at the pictures and it's a cave. But nothing was mentioned of the cave. That's why it's called the Bell Witch Cave.
Oh.
So there's actually literally a cave on the property. And that's what they go when you can go and tour it and stuff. And it's creepy as heck. But none of the property is ever mentioned being haunted or in the pictures and stuff except for movies.
Yeah, that's the movie I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they made a movie off of it.
See, an American Honky. That's what I was talking about. That's that scene when they were smacking around.
Oh, yeah.
So, see, I knew it's the story set up the movie. The more you started talking about it, the more you started talking about it. Wait a minute. It's a cool story, though. Because isn't the land, like, cursed or some shit?
Yeah, because she, like, the witch died there. I didn't say what happened or whatever, but it's...
Well, in the movie, I remember, it was something over the land. And, of course, the one guy was rich and had the land, and he was trying to get his neighbor's, his neighbor's plot. And, of course, he had money, so when it came up for sale or something, he got it. Yeah. And it pissed her off, and she put a curse on his land and that land. So, yeah, she was a pretty mad witch. And then come to find out, though, the dad was doing some nasty shit, too, so.
Well, that might have helped.
Yeah.
It's so weird how, like, we unravel, like, these stories, and there's so many movies made about them.
Oh, I know, and you never think about it. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Okay, well, that's the end of that one.
All righty. Well, I'm going to do my big one first.
My big one.
All right. Mine is the Turnbull Canyon in California. This area was called the Hutaguna. Am I saying that right? Hutaguna?
Hutaguna. I don't know.
Hutaguna. It means the dark place. The local Indian, that's what the local Indian tribes called it. And they called it that because the forest was so thick and stuff that sunlight barely got in there, so it stayed dark all the time. It was like just a dark, creepy forest, and the Indians always got bad vibes there, so they was like, nope, they called it forbidden land, and they refused to freaking set foot there. They wouldn't at all.
You know what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Suicide forest in Japan.
Yeah, it sounds like an American version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, they didn't want to
step foot in it
because it was cursed to them. Well, then when the Spaniards came with the missions and stuff, the Spaniards knew they was afraid of the forest, so they would drag them to the forest on purpose, kicking and screaming, knowing that they didn't like it, and their excuse was, well, we're making them face their fears.
That's like saying someone's afraid of a snake and throwing a snake at them.
And then when they got them there, they gave them a ultimatum, gave them a choice. They said either pick Christianity. I thought the comforter was falling over there. Either pick a Christianity or either be a Christian or choose death. Yeah. So not only they drug them in this forest that was just creepy as shit.
Choose this or die.
Exactly. And they're like, fuck. So they didn't give a number of how many Indians said yes and no, so we don't know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So not only is it a creepy forest, now it's probably covered with the blood of any innocent.
Oh, yeah, that was just the start of it. Like I said, I stumbled onto something big and creepy with its canyon. Yeah. Okay, the Spaniards got there, you got that. Okay, into the forest, you got that. Okay, and hikers hikers have reported getting just a feeling of being watched. And especially when the hikers go around the old water tower, they really get a creepy vibe and just like somebody's watching you. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes you wonder how many people like died in there.
Well, they did. Well, like I said, there wasn't no number on the Indians that got killed there, and that's what they say. A lot of the spirits are. It's the Indians that were killed there. They can't get out till they see sunlight, and the forest is so thick with woods and
there's
stuff.
like barely any sunlight.
Yeah, so they're basically stuck
there forever.
Yeah. Well, after that, nothing happens for a long time. Well, then the Great Depression comes along. Okay. Then when the Depression comes along, there's a cult that started meeting a couple nights a week and having their little rituals and stuff.
In the forest?
Yeah, in its canyon.
Why did I say forest? You know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, they started doing that. Well, a man went down there and snuck up there one night and seen what they were doing. They had a 12-year-old boy tied to a cross, and then when they got ready to beat him, they turned it, and they started like hitting him and I think stabbing him, they said, till he was barely breathing, and then stuck him in a bag and put him in a wagon.
A 12-year-old boy?
Yeah. Well, then the guy that snuck down there and seen that flipped out, so he called us back to town and's telling everybody, hey, man, they're doing some crazy shit, and tried to, get their attention and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Well, nobody would believe him, but unfortunately, a couple months later, kids started coming up missing like rampantly, really, really bad. And then the town started thinking, well, let's get together and go kick their ass. Well, by the time they went to do that, they were gone.
Oh, it must have been like a passing thing, or they knew they got caught or something.
Yeah, well, when all them kids started coming up missing, they said they was not only, probably using kids for their little cult or whatever.
Yeah.
They was probably getting kids for other cults, too, because there was a large number of kids, they said, came up missing.
I don't like that.
Well, I thought that was going to be a little long, because it was a whole page, that's why. Because my other stories are just one page, and that's 2 stories. Yeah.
Jeez. Like, this... Is there anything like about like is it like is it haunted now? Or?
Well, yeah, it's still haunted and stuff.
Well,
and then
I know,
like,
but, like
the upcoming stuff, there's something about an asylum there. Yeah.
That not a good idea.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. So maybe when I look into that, I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe. I mean, that damn land started off cursed from the beginning. I mean, think about it. The damn Indians didn't want to go there at all, and then the Spaniards came and was like dragging them somewhere. Just think about being drugged to the place that scared you the most, and then being sent there and made a decision to do something, but that you didn't really feel comfortable with, but you had to, or you was gonna die. What would you do?
I'd probably die.
It just depends on
what it is.
Well, I don't know. It would depend, I guess, on
what it is.
On if I was married and if I had kids.
Yeah.
If I had kids and stuff, I'd say yes, I'll be a Christian, so my kids would live. But if I didn't have kids, I'd be like, hell no. I love Satan and he loves me. Jesus
Christ.
666 for life.
I thought you were saying sex.
Man, I better not be saying that stuff, because it's like 12:30 at night. We're doing this podcast, and I'm over here spouting off satanic crap.
It doesn't help that our house is already like haunted. Like
it's
anytime
got some
we come to
spooky
do
vibes.
This stuff or research, stuff starts happening, and it's not okay.
Yeah. Is it just me, or when you're in here researching, every now and then do you think that you see something out of the corner of your eye?
Yes. Okay. So
see, because like right here, this camera, we're looking at you guys. This is like the main hub. This is our studio. Well, when I break everything down and we're doing research on the main computer here,
it's right next to.
It's right next to the door. That's that way.
And there's another door. I know I'm trying to describe it also to the camera and the people that can't see. So
yeah. Well, it's basically that's the hallway right there, and right across the hall's the bathroom.
And there's a washer, and there's another door across from the washer. But like, our hallways are tiny, so it's not like people can go chasing through them and stuff.
But we'll be sitting here, looking at the computer, doing research and writing, looking up and down, and you'll see stuff out of the corner of your eye. Just
Yeah, it's great. Even whenever you hear by yourself, or like you hear footsteps when you hear by yourself, and the dogs
Oh
are
God,
all
I know.
you. It's fun.
What gets me is when you're gone and Simone's gone, and I know it's just me, and let's say the kids are gone, I know that it's just me and my dogs, and I hear something in the freaking kitchen.
Oh,
I'm like, I ain't checking shit out.
I just learned to ignore it.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is the short one, but it had don't touch my mic. It had some pretty decent stuff with it. Okay. So this is the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem.
I'm already saying enough because
let me
it's
guess.
in
Does this hotel have something to do with witches?
Yes. It's haunted because it was built on top of it was built on something that's not really important to the story but it was built next to like an old witch's grocery store bit thing in the bobber, like the how like
God,
people go and get.
You just cannot beat an old witch grocery store. I mean, that they get the best recipes, the best seasonings.
No, but do you know what I mean by old witch grocery store?
No, I never heard of an old witch grocery store.
Like the grocery stores back then, how they would just have them like all like in stands.
Yeah, they called them general stores.
But this was like back
back before that. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, because Salem witch stuff happened before the cowboy days. So yeah.
So
I work hard for the money.
That got tore down and stuff, and it was built right next to that. And then apparently I don't remember what it wasn't in the article or whatever, but it was built on something else that had to do with witches. And it's Salem, so obviously the town's already messed up.
A lot of innocent people died
because they were different.
Do you know? Ashley said she looked, and I think she said, I think on the Booth side there was a witch that was named Booth in Salem.
Yeah, that means Ashley swears up and down we're witches, and I totally agree with her because this family is cursed, man. maybe because of that, like they hunger or something, or like tried to kill her.
I remember my dad telling a story when he was a kid growing up. He'd go to his uncle's house, and his aunt would sit there and make the tables kind of come up and float a little bit. But they said when he got home, the table would drop, and it'd be like, "Oh, y'all playing with that stupid crap? Y'all know that don't work." Yeah,
it's like because if your energy's off, or like if you don't, like you're like, "Oh, it doesn't."
And his negative, he had
negative energy.
Yeah, he was negative. So.
Like I believe in it. Like if you can make it work, kudos to you.
I believe.
You have to have a really good mindset for that stuff, though.
Yeah, you got to really be in the zone.
No, Ashley swears up and down, so this is going a little bit off topic, but we're talking about witches, so it's okay. That we're witches, and it doesn't help that you just said that.
Yeah.
Because, like, maybe before she died, she's like, I curse my entire family. I mean, viewers, you don't know us, but we have some crappy luck.
Oh, God, I know.
And Sundays, they kick our butt.
I hate Sundays. I either get my wallet stolen.
Phone stolen.
Or
our dog attacked.
Or our dog attacked.
Or died.
Yeah.
So,
it's fun. Most people's like Sundays your relaxing day.
God's day.
Lay around the house. Fuck that. I don't even get out of bed.
Yeah, Sundays
I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'll pee in the bed. I don't care.
He doesn't.
I just wash them Monday because I don't get out of bed Sunday.
But okay. Anyway, going back to the story, we kind of got off topic, but it is Salem, and we're talking about witches, so it's okay. But, okay, so before the story starts, obviously the town is going to be cursed or haunted or whatever because, there's a lot of stuff that happened. But,
sorry.
So, in 1924, the construction for this hotel began. They finished it in 1925, and that's whenever they opened. It was Hey, today's July 3rd. Well, actually, it's July 4th because it's like midnight.
Yeah, it is July 4th. Hey, let's go pop our fireworks.
But this hotel opened July 3rd, 1925. So, hey, pretty close, and I didn't even mean to do that.
Ain't that a squibby doodle?
So, this was a lot of money back then. It kind of, this is a pretty good chunk of money now. Or to us poor people, it is. They had to raise $500,000 for the hotel.
That's $500,000 back then. So in probably today's terms, that's probably like 5-6 million, I'd say. Oh yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, if you had that kind of money back then, I mean, you got to figure, Lexi. Stuff was like 2 cents, 3 cents. I mean,
Can I travel back with that?
I heard this ain't no lie. My mama grew up. My mama
said.
grew up in the. I think she was in school in the '60s, and she said, heck, she could go to school for a quarter and have lunch. She could buy
you know what
a
a
hamburger.
quarter buys me? A sip of water.
Yeah, you could get a hamburger. She said, and I think French fries and a Coke.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so different.
Yeah. Well, hell, believe it's crap. I remember right before I met your mom in '99, gas was 99 cents a gallon.
Now it's like almost $3
Yeah.
a gallon.
I remember I had a truck. It was a straight It was a straight 6, and it took me $16 to fill it up.
Jesus, now that's not even half a tank.
Yeah.
Okay, well, also, this hotel was constructed by Salem sea captains. I don't know what that is, but I know it has something to do with witches.
Maybe they're a sea captain for the witches.
I think
of
it's
the
like,
sea.
I'm pretty sure that it's like the leftover, not like witches, but...
Leftover. It's the leftover witches. It's the ones that didn't make it.
No, I think it's like the, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway.
It's the bad one. You're bad.
Maybe the people that, like, believed in,
Yeah.
like, strongly believed in it. I don't know. Okay, but the hotel also assisted people in old age and disabilities at one point. And it also had to do with Salem, so, like... But, okay. That's pretty much the history. So, now let's get on to the 2 rooms that are haunted. So, room 612, you see aberrations of a woman, and she is seen...
Is she wearing white?
Yes.
Really? I was just a lucky guess. I did not know you was going to say there was a lady in white.
Woman in white. Yeah, she... In every story, I swear, she... Like, I don't get...
Oh, God, even in a lot of the legends I look up. Oh, and there's a ghost in the cemetery. And it's a lady in white.
I don't know. But she will wander outside the halls. In the hallway, or, like, she'll go outside your room and just pace back and forth. Ouch.
Yeah, well, why you gotta hit stuff?
And, she'll also just, like, pause in front of your door and just, like, stand there. Yeah. And you can see the shadow, you know. And then also you get an uneasy feeling, like...
Uneasy feeling!
Yeah. And then in room 325, the lights in the faucets like to flicker... Wait. The lights like to flicker on and off by themselves.
How did you say the lights in the faucet?
And then the faucets like to turn on and off by themselves.
The lights in the
faucet. And you can also hear a baby crying in that room. Then there's obviously no baby. Also, you can get touched by ghosts, and you can also have the feeling of being touched without actually getting touched.
Wow.
So, yeah. You can also hear, like, a bunch of strange noises.
Strange noises?
Strange noises in the hotel.
Yay, she can speak.
Shut up. There's, like, a lot of strange occurrences, like stuff with the doors open and closing, stuff like that. There's an apple scent, and that's important. Remember that.
Apple scent. Remember apple scent, everybody. If I email you, you better answer. Apple spice.
There's a long dead sea captain okay, so the shop that I was talking about,
broke down off the ground.
Like,
what are you? Like tore down?
Yes,
demolished.
Demolished. It got demolished.
Golly, you know when it gets tore up from the floor up.
Because
you know, Dad. Come on now. You know what I mean.
Shut up. Okay, so this girl's name was Bridget, and it was the Bridget shop, and you could get like apples and fruits and all that stuff, but you could also get like some like witch stuff there. And she was part of the witch Salem stuff, and she was executed in 1692. So that's how long ago her shop was there. And the hotel was built on the land. Built on it and by it. So that woman haunts the hotel, and because she sold apples, I guess went by in her shop really well. And you can smell them. Which I cannot smell apples. I don't think apples have a scent, so like, because she sold candles too. Like, I don't get that part, but you know,
she's the apple maker and the candlestick maker.
So that one didn't have like a lot of history, but I mean, I still found it interesting because of the Salem witches. So, which one you got for us, Daddy-o?
Oh.
Wow, don't even pay attention to me.
I was too busy combing my hair.
We are going to talk about the oh no. Let me fix something here real fast.
He won't quit touching stuff, I swear.
Well, you know, that's just how I am.
Oh, you fixed the... Okay.
I'm just doing that because I'm... So when you're talking, you know, I just go back and forth.
Yeah, because of our mic issues that we have. One's louder than the other.
Yeah. But here we go. I'm going to talk about the Dark Watchers. They love to roam around the Santana Loca
Mountains.
I
thought that said Santa Mountains. I was like, what's the Santa Mountains?
God. Anyways, I hope I didn't butcher that. Anyways, okay, they're in California, and they're human-like creatures who stand on the hills and ridges and peaks of the mountains, and they sit there, and they're not aggressive. They don't try to come at you or nothing. And then
they just like stand there and watch you or something?
Yeah, they just kind of sit there at first and stare at you, and then they just kind of look up at the sky and eventually just disappear.
Oh, so I was going to say like shadow people, but shadow people don't do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, they say they really don't know the origins of it, where it came from or anything, but it's been a legend there since the Indians were there, the Chumash Indians.
We're butchering stuff today.
Yeah, well, I can't. That's Kamash.
Oh, whatever. Just go.
Anyways, it started, with them. They started, seeing them, back then. But you always see them you always see them when the sun's going down. You never see them in the morning, but you always see them right in the evening. Well, in the, what was it? On a hiking trip in the 60s, a local man and the former high school principal went on a hiking trip on the Santa, you got me saying it, Santa Loca Mountains, and reporting seeing a figure of a man in a hat and a cape. When the principal hollered at the figure, it disappeared and kind of just, yeah.
Sounds like it's an Indian. Like an old Indian or something?
Well, it's one of them old urban Indian legends they still see sightings all the time there.
Maybe because, like you said, it was around whenever the Indian stuff were there. Maybe it's like just Indian trying to find peace, or it's just like, because he hasn't come to concepts with it, so it's just like...
Hasn't came to concept with what happened to him.
No,
the Indians started seeing them at first a long time ago.
Oh,
they was the first ones in that area to start seeing them. But at least them guys didn't get drug into the
freaking the
forest
canyon
with them and said,
you have one choice, this or die. What do you choose?
But yeah, that's one of them old Indian legends. But there's still sightings to this day. Even on that paranormal, Caught on Paranormal, they had a video of one. It's kind of creepy.
What would you do if you saw that?
I don't know what I'd do if I'd seen something like that.
I feel like I'd run, but I also feel like I wouldn't be able to move.
I'd be kind of frozen, just like, I don't know.
Did you just see that?
I don't know what I seen, Bill, but it scared the shit out of me.
Okay. Is that it for that one?
Yes, that's it for that one. Yeah, that one was pretty short. Like I said, though, no one knows the origins, where they came from, or the best reckon they can figure is not figure. They know it started from the Indians because you know how Indians would draw on cave drawings and all that. They found some cave drawings of the creature.
You know what I was about to ask? Why didn't they just write it on a piece of paper? But this is like a way.
Wow,
way.
yeah. They didn't even have a pencil, Lexi. So number one, if they did have paper, how would they write on it?
With their blood. No. Have you guys ever seen that? Oh, Joe Dirt did that. Let's not talk about that right now. Anyway.
This isn't the Joe Dirt Hour. This is Scary Stories.
Joe Dirt Hour. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be talking about the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa.
You're a spa.
This is in Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Eureka.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I think it's
really?
Arkansas.
Yeah, I was fixing to say I thought Hot Springs was in Arkansas, because Hot Springs used to be a hangout. I mean, it's still a good little town to go.
Yeah.
It's a tourist town, but back in the days, back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, a lot of your mobsters would hang out there.
Yeah, it's Arkansas, but whenever I see Arkansas, because the way it's spelled, I'm like Arkansas.
Yeah, that's what threw me
Or
off.
Arkansas.
I didn't know if he was being a smart aleck or trying to be funny.
No, my mind.
Arkansas. I love Arkansas. Where are you from, ma'am? I'm from Arkansas.
Ma'am, that's not a state. Yes, it is.
It goddamn sure is.
I'll fight
It's
you.
2 states in one. Take
In
that
my
to the
book it is.
bank.
Okay. So they have healing water there. That's what people believe.
Healing.
Like how people say our mineral water, certain waters can heal.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
That's
so.
another thing, guys. We live in Mineral Wells, and we got our mineral water that supposedly fixes you up. That's really what kind of started the town.
We don't just have one type of water. We have like 6.
Yeah, 6. One of them gives you the squirts.
Yeah, one
cleans
gives you
out.
diarrhea.
So don't drink it. When I learned that one the hard way.
I want to go test the waters one day.
But
I think
some
I
of
like
them are
number
good.
3
I like
better.
number 2 or number 3.
One of those, yeah.
But yeah, I grew up on well water because Grandpa outside of town, that's what he had.
Well, I mean, I drink tap water. I'm not picky.
So.
Anyway, so they have the healing water, and it exists because of the spring water stuff that flows through.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to call it, the spring. So, at one time, I don't know if this is still true, more than 60 springs, like, bubbled up into, like, what they called it, healing water. I'm going to be saying healing water a lot because it's important. So...
Healing water?
It
or
was...
healing water?
Healing water.
Healing or healing?
So it was in and around, around the Eureka area. It was down, like, the downtown area. And, like, a bunch of tourists came in the 19th century because they were like, oh, healing water, it can do anything. So, yeah. Well, then in 1884, the construction began for the hotel or spa or whatever. It took 2 years. That's the longest construction that I've seen for something.
Yeah.
Even the asylums, they're like, no, we'll put patients in it right away. We'll work on it as we go.
They make one wing and the other one still don't have nothing done to it. Oh, just keep building. We're going to start putting people in.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's got a roof and windows. What else do you need?
So, it opened up in 1886. And then in 1934, the Great Depression hit. I think that's the right year, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not for sure on the
History
exact
people.
date.
Hope that's right, because if not, then I just like a complete moron. So, the Great Depression hit, and it closed during the year, but it was only open, like, during June and July and part of August. Because of the Great Depression, they couldn't afford to keep it open 12 months a year. So they had it open 2.5 months a year. Yeah.
Only 2 months a year? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was a summer hotel.
Yeah.
So, eventually it was purchased by a charlatan, which he called himself a self-made
Self-made millionaire.
a self healer doctor person.
Oh,
but he
yeah.
was one of those fake doctors who didn't know what he was doing, but he pretended to.
He's scamming people, basically.
Yes, he got people's hopes up, and he like didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people were like, "Oh my God, this doctor can do anything." So they came from all over the world to this place, and they believed that he could cure them and stuff, and he couldn't. And his name was Baker, by the way. So he was arrested and sentenced to 4 years in prison. And then in 1940, the hotel reopened again. I don't know who got it back after that, but it reopened after, this freaking guy was posing as a doctor and killing all his patients. And it's a 111-year-old hotel, and it has a lot of history. So you can imagine the ghost stuff in it. I have quite a bit.
Stop.
Sorry, our dog's going crazy. We don't have a soundproof booth yet. So, you got any input on that, Mr. Booth?
All right, what was you saying now? I'm sorry, I got interrupted by the dogs.
I was saying that, the charlatan self-doctor person got it, and then he got arrested, and it reopened in 1940, and then I don't know who bought it and stuff after that, but,
So is it still open today?
Yes, I believe, yeah. Because it never said anything about closing and stuff like the asylums and stuff do. So, yeah. But it is like, it's a 111-year-old hotel. That was like...
Man, that's an old hotel.
Yeah. So this guy would just do these botched surgeries on people. Like, he would go actually do them underneath the knife, but he didn't know what he was doing. So, like, he would just pretend to have a surgery so they would believe it. And be like, oh... Take this; it'll cure you. When it was just fake water, or, like with the miracle water too, that goes into place too. The water didn't do anything, or the medicine he give him didn't do anything, or he would just pretend to do something and didn't really do it, and he got caught and got sentenced to 4 years in jail. And so
Mr. Con Man got it.
And it's sad because a lot of people still do that.
Oh, they still do.
Like they take advantage of people's what is it called?
Hopes,
hope and sadness, and the little
like,
faith
hey.
they have. Like, oh, you have cancer, I can cure it.
Yeah, they really can't.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not done yet.
Oh.
I gotta tell my ghost stuff. That's what makes it a ghost story. Okay,
don't you ever breathe hard like that in that
I didn't mean to. I almost sneezed.
Again, you pervert.
So I'm sorry.
She's all like, yeah, my name is Lexi. I can breathe real hard and stuff.
Shut up. You've been making fun of me this entire episode. It's not fair. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
tell me your story.
Since it was a patient thingy with the bot surgery and stuff, he tried to treat cancer patients. So you can see the old cancer patients like roam around and stuff. But I mean, you really don't like that. Like that's what you see a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. I just can't talk. So, excuse me if this is not if you don't understand or it's not accurate. I read this. I don't completely understand it, but they had Irish stone masons.
Irish
stone masons. Now, what are those? Because I don't know.
A mason's a person that lays bricks and does stone work.
So a brick.
No, he is the guy that puts the bricks together to make the house.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so what are those people?
What are those people?
Were they got plunged to death in room 218.
Lovely.
By a poltergeist named Michael.
So he got beaten to death by a ghost?
No, I guess he went on a ladder and building the hotel with the bricks. And the ladder came apart or something, and they blamed it on the ghost. Or the ghost was like, you want to build in my spot?
Sorry, I'm Mikey. It's mine.
So, that room 218 is the most spiritually active.
Well,
and this is some of the stuff that happens.
Oh, God. Hey, wait, I bet you one of them's a woman that got married and committed suicide?
Actually, I think that actually is in this one, but I'm not
Oh my
positive.
God! Every hotel
No,
one.
I'm not positive, so don't get your hopes
I'm gonna
up.
start
It's
making
in one
a
of
lot.
these
I'm gonna
coming up stories if it's not in this one.
I'm
So
gonna start doing like a lottery pick. What's the chances Lexi will have a hotel with a woman that killed herself the night of her honeymoon?
or a woman in white.
Yeah.
So they have like a lot of mirrors and stuff, but especially in the bathroom mirror, you can see like hands going like 3D out of the mirror to reach you and like get you. Like if Bloody Mirror were to come through the mirror and be like, ha. So that happens. And then you can hear the cries of the man that like fell to his death. Doors open and close all the time. Like they swing open and slam shut. Creak open, creak shut. And then like if they slam shut, sometimes like you get stuck and you can't leave your room, or like you get locked out of your room. It's great.
Lovely.
And then the employees have seen people, or not people, like a woman in a Victorian dress. So like from way back. But it was in 1886, so no telling.
That was a good year.
So there was this one time, the dining room was closed. One time I blank, blah, 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 blah. I can't talk. I ruined that. Okay, so the dining room was closed, this one incident that happened, and it was around Christmas. So they had a Christmas tree in a corner with packages or presents, and they went into it the next day, and the Christmas tree was on one end of the room, and the packages were on the other end. And then, so they put them back, and they fixed it. Then they came back the next morning, and it was like that again. But this time, the chairs were in a circle, and they were like all in a circle, and then like a holiday symbol thing was in the middle. They fixed it.
I'd be like, you know what? Hey, we're just going to leave it like this because I'm tired of fixing this shit.
And said, no, I said they fixed it, but they didn't. They left it like that, and they came back the next day, and it was fixed.
See? All they had to do is just leave it alone the first time, and it would have never,
And then, I guess it was in, like, the lobby or something. There was a mirror, and the employee saw two people behind her. Well, it was a man and a woman, like a couple, as if they were, like, in a wedding. And it was a woman in a Victorian dress, and they were facing each other, and then they both, at the same time, turned and made eye contact with this girl, and then they just disappeared, like, out of thin air. And so that girl quit.
She's like I don't want to do this anymore.
Either that day or the next day she quit. She's like, bye.
I can't handle your ghost situation anymore, people. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
I think I would do that too, though. Okay, and then this is another person in a Victorian outfit. There's this guy, a man, sitting at a table near the window near their entrance, and he kept on telling people, I saw the most beautiful woman last night, and I'm waiting for her to return. And people were like, oh, what'd she look like, and all this, and he just kept on saying the same thing all day. And they went there the next day, and he was gone, and people were asking, like, where he went, and the employers were like,
what are you talking about?
No one has checked in, or no one, like, they didn't know what he was talking about.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then they have a ballroom, and they've seen, like, a woman in the ballroom dancing. And the doctor, the botched surgery doctor person, they've seen him in the lobby, and they've seen him, like, speak to somebody, like, physically speak to another person, and then walk down the hallway, disappear, or, like, because it used to be a hospital, they used to have, like, the morgue and the freezer and the operating room and stuff, like, it was a hospital, but, like, he didn't know what he was doing. So he would walk into the freezer, and then what used to be the freezer, and vanish.
Wow. Well, maybe he was hungry. Nobody ever think about that.
Like the freezer where they put the dead bodies.
Oh, never mind. Maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe he was going to bed.
And then this cancer patient, she's
Cancer patient?
Shut up. This cancer patient, Theodora, she's in room 419.
419.
So, then this other boy, this girl saw a boy pop glasses, like getting two glasses together, and it was like hitting them together.
Yeah.
And he was skipping around the kitchen, and then all of a sudden he like just disappeared, like Thanos snapped. Just
See,
disappeared.
screw that right there. I'd be like, I'm done. I don't want to stay the night here anymore.
This is the one that would have got. No, this was an employee that saw that. This is the one that would have got me. Like, in the movies, like if the people that would like hang their pots and pans like over like the island, they would fly off or something. That happened with employees around. I would have been like, that's it, I quit. I can't take anymore.
Screw this. You can have the place, you damn ghost.
Yeah, I don't get how they do that. Because I would have given up a long time ago.
Yeah, I would not have been around that long either.
Especially whenever, like, stuff started flying around and, like, the ghost was disappearing and doing all this stuff.
A lot of heebie-jeebie-weebies is what's going on.
Pretty much. You don't have any more stories, do you?
Yeah, I still got the Char Man to do, Char Lady.
Oh, I'm over here ready to do another one.
Yeah, you're over here like cha-cha-cha.
Okay, hurry, do yours.
What, you're going to do one more?
I might do it.
Okay, the Char Man. This is another California legend.
California.
There's like three actual kind of urban legends to see. This one's another urban legend because there's no really hard evidence, facts to back any of this up. So this one's another like urban legend from California. One of the stories two of the stories, both of them start out like this. In 1948, there was a house fire, and the father and his son was in it, and they both were burnt badly, and the father passed away during it, and before help got there, I guess the son went nuts because he was disfigured because of the fire and stuff, and he went to check on his dad, and his dad was dead, so he went cuckoo. He skinned his dad, hung his remains in the tree, and when help came, because it took them a while back then to get there, when help got there, they seen what the son did and went to talk to him or, to get him, and he ran off in the woods to never be seen again, and that's the story of he's the Char Man.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, then here's the second story is same situation. It's a house fire, but on this one, it's a wife and her husband. And in this story, the wife dies, and the man, discovers the wife dead, and he goes freaking loony and crazy, and then he runs off in the woods, and he becomes the Char Man.
Maybe the ghost of that guy, the first guy, died, and he's turning everyone crazy.
And the third story is that there was a fireman, and he got stuck in a house fire, and he made it, and was so disfigured and all that he ran into the woods and was to never show up again.
The one thing that is common in all these, the guy that survives at the end always runs into the woods because he's a lunatic.
But it's crazy on this one. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. There's a bridge or something close by, because I think it's even called the Char Man Bridge.
Oh,
they were
that's
saying,
cool.
And if you get there and get out of your car, on that bridge, and get out and yell, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" He'll come out of the woods 3 times and attack you.
I kind of want to do that, but at the same time, I don't want to chance it.
Because they say you sitting there saying "help me," it's angering in him because it's either the son getting ticked because he heard that when his dad died, or it's the man listening to his wife. Because they say that's why they say you gotta say "help me" because it angers him and
because he couldn't help.
Yeah. So and he's deformed now and he's ugly. Yeah. People say sometimes you'll see a ghost of him hanging around the bridge or something when you drive by.
Let's go drive by the bridge.
Sure, sounds good to me.
Throw you out. Tell you to ask
I'd be
for
like,
help.
"Hey, Lexi, check that tire." Psych.
Bye. Go to call. I need help. What'd you say?
Sorry, I can't help you, Lex. On your own.
I want to do another one.
You sure? Well, I'm ready to get up. My butt is numb. It's been an hour, but I'll let you do one more.
Okay. I want to do another one. It's short. Okay, guys?
Like your face.
Okay. So this is the old St. Joseph's Hospital.
St. Joseph Hospital.
The old St. Joseph's Hospital in Dickinson, North Dakota. I think we have viewers from there too. So that's fun. North Dakota. So, apparently this is the most haunted place in North Dakota.
Love it.
Okay,
See,
so...
this one's for all you North Dakota fans out there who listen.
Tell me if it's true or not. So, there's plans about opening it back up. And also, I have to say, whenever they closed this one down, they opened a hospital, like, right next to it. And it's the St. Augustine Hospital. And that's what the ghost experience and stuff like that is. Because they say that, like, it's still on the land. Because back then it was one of those hospitals that, like, had, like, not a self-sufficient community. But they had, like, a pretty big area.
Pretty big facility.
So, like, the empty buildings, or, like, one of the empty buildings or something like that, they redid it and made it a hospital.
Huh.
So, a lot of the ghosts were like, let's go there. They redid it. So, okay. So, the original hospital, St. Joseph's Hospital, was built in... Shut up.
In the 80s.
It was 1911.
Oh, well, it's way before my time.
Shut up. It was built in 1911. And then I guess they finished it in 1912. So 6 sisters from the Sisters of Mercy of the Holy Cross in Switzerland. That's a long ways to travel from Switzerland to North Dakota.
Why do you travel so far? I don't know, but I like it.
They came from Switzerland to work at the hospital, and it was like 6 sisters. So I'm guessing they were like nuns,
6 sisters,
like
trapped
nuns.
in a soapbox.
They ran the hospital until 1987, and then in 2014 the hospital closed, and then the new hospital was opened 1 mile away from the hospital.
Ooh, 1 mile.
So that's a St. Augustine's one. Okay, so. Again, I have to go back and forth with history and ghost stuff because then I can't, like, do all the history and then... Okay, so this is kind of some of the stuff that happens in the new one.
Yeah, I'm breathing.
Were you breathing? Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was me. I'm like, dang,
because I thought I
like
heard myself in my headphones and I was like, doing a breathe check. I was like, ew, I hear myself breathing.
That's why I'm... Yeah, okay. So the elevator to the morgue, it has its own mind. Like, it goes up and down all the time. Like, if you go into it and you press, like, I want to go to the 6th floor. It goes, nope, you go into the morgue.
You're going to the morgue.
Yeah, it's weird. So you can hear a bunch of moaning and voices in the cafeteria. Like, and my people may get that confused with, like, oh, people go in there to eat. But, like, I guess when no one's there at night, because they close the cafeteria down after a certain point. Like, you know.
The ghosts get the munchies.
The call buttons,
cookies.
the nurse call buttons, they're activated from empty rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. And also, you can hear laughing and the sound of running footsteps, like in the basement. I would not want to work in the basement.
No.
And then also the employees and the doctors and all that have had experience with the ghosts and the apparitions of them and spirits. And they use the word demons. So
I didn't
get what all like they said,
but
but
one thing I always put on my checklist when I want to go look at some scary stuff.
Demons. We were
yes,
so in
please.
sync. Okay, so this one thing happened that they only put in there, but there was this old little farmer guy, and he was kind of off and on a resident to the hospital, like he's had a lot of problems. He was 75 years old, and he was well known, like I said, because he was off and on at the hospital. He was on the 3rd floor with a terminal illness when he came in last time, and the 3rd night he was there, he got up around 10 p.m., and he said, I've had enough of this, don't want to be here, I'm leaving, and he left. Well, the nurse went to his room, like, to clean up and stuff, like, to get it ready for another patient, and she found him in the room dead.
Dang.
But no one, because whenever you die,
Yeah.
you can. Well, no, not that. You hear like the monitors and everything. Like the nurse's station and stuff is right there by the room. So like, they didn't hear the alarms or anything go off.
Wow.
He was dead.
That's
So
frangily.
yeah, that was a little weird. So they saw his ghost, I guess, because he died, and he was like, "I'm leaving."
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. You screwy shit.
But yeah, that's it. They didn't put a lot in there, I guess, because it's like, I guess it just now opened back up or something.
So is it opening back up as an asylum?
It wasn't an asylum; it was a hospital.
I mean, is it back?
No, like the old one, not the old one, the St. Augustine one.
What's it opening back up to be?
They're trying to get the old Joseph Hospital, trying to open that one back up, but
As a hospital.
Yeah, but they opened the St. Augustine's like right by it, so they might not.
Oh well. Guess. Well, look at it this way. At least them ghosts are gonna get to haunt the new hospital that they built. That's crazy. You build a brand new hospital and you're going, why is it some bitch haunted?
Look what's next to it.
You built it next door to that creepy son of a gun.
Yeah, not even like 3-4 miles. Like literally, you could walk to the next hospital.
See, that's just too close. Well.
I
Looks
think
like
that's
we have
it.
came to another foreclosure of this episode, guys.
Hope you
I
guys
really enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been amazing.
It's been cool. Sorry, we were both really tired for this
Yes,
episode, but we were like, we want to shoot.
Yeah, but we like to stay ahead of our game and be prepared because it helps out. Because sometimes me and her can't get together to do this.
Because we both busy bodies.
Yeah, so but it's always fun doing this stuff, guys. Like I said, I'm glad all of our listeners, to everybody, like I said, all the people in Europe, we love ya. Yay.
And in the States, thank you so much. You guys keep us going. Like,
Germany,
you guys are
Ireland,
awesome.
Bangladesh, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and then all the United States places. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a whole list.
And it keeps growing, and we thank you so much. Don't forget about our email.
At ghost stories told from the south at gmail.com.
And our Twitter handle is.
And our Instagram, Twitter, and the same thing. Or the same thing. It's South Texas Ghost. SOUTHTXGHOSTS.
Yes.
And we are on Spotify and iTunes, Twitcher,
Stitcher.
and we're on Google.
And don't forget about checking out our other podcast, or my other podcast, Borderline Texas Trash with Ash Handy and me. And then, like I said, I've got another podcast. I just put out a college football talk if you're into that sort of stuff. If not, if you're just into ghost stuff, that's cool too, man.
And me and Stephanie have ours coming out. We're working on that.
We got another one in production, so we are
yay.
going to keep y'all busy from Booth Broadcasting Incorporated, guys.
From the Boothianos.
Yeah. But we appreciate everybody listening to us, everybody staying true to us, and everybody who keeps growing and growing with us. So
Thank
we
you
ain't
so
going
much.
nowhere, guys. But this is episode 11. It's been freaking great and amazing, and it's just been, oh man.
Hey, we made it past an hour.
I know. We're really starting to get the hang of that stuff and tell some good stories, some laughs. So.
Yay. Okay, well.
But you guys, thank you for listening to Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your host, Stephen Booth.
And I am your tired co-host, Lexi Booth.
And that's a big 10-4 from the both of us. I'm beat. I'm still going to step and do laundry. But anyways, I'll go do some research. We'll get some other stuff planned out, guys, and we will love you. See you later. Be cool. Be good. Stay scary. And please go explore stuff. Tell us stories. Email us. We really want to hear from everybody out there in podcast land who listens to us. Please email us some stuff. Just say hi. Hey, tell us anything. Your ghost stories suck. Whatever. But you guys be good. We will see y'all later from Ghost Stories Told from the South.
Bye.